Joining us now, Rick Caruso, founder and executive chairman of Caruso, a privately held real estate company. Its portfolio includes residential and retail properties, including the Grove in Los Angeles. Rick, it's great to have you back on the show. I do need to start here. This isn't the first takeover offer we've seen come for a big retail and brick and mortar chain in recent months or recent years. But of course, the big focus with Macy's, and I think it's indicative in this news today, is the real estate portfolio. Your thoughts?
Well, Morgan, my thought is that the offer is obviously a lot less than what's being reported on the value of their real estate. So probably this is the opening offer and it's going to go somewhere beyond this. But they do have some good real estate. They're not putting a lot of value based on the offer they've made on the operation of the business. So I don't really know what their intent is, but it's going to be fun to sort of see this thing play out. They've got some good real estate, no doubt.
How does it speak to the value of brick and mortar writ large in an omni-channel world?
Well, I would break it down between a department store and other brick and mortar, right? Other stores. I think the department store sector definitely needs to get reinvented and be more engaging, more interesting, have more experiences, be easier to shop, less friction, all of those things to start driving more sales, because the department store format is a pretty old format that hasn't been changed in a lot of years. So what would be exciting to me is, are the buyers looking at this to reinvent the operation, including to take advantage of the real estate, or are they buying it to start sizing down and just selling off the real estate? I'm not sure what their goal is, but brick and mortar is strong. And we've seen, as you know, strong growth across the country in brick and mortar sales, as we've seen online. So it's not going away anytime soon.
Rick, educate us on this. A decade and more ago, department stores like Macy's were what we called anchors in malls. They were the destination that people went to, and then they might go to the rest of the mall. It seems like over the past 10, 15 years, things like Apple stores have become those de facto anchors, department stores less so. If that's the case, what do department stores need to do to recapture that anchor status, if it can be recaptured at all?
Well, John, I think it's a good question. I think the question is also, do you need an anchor? And what really is the definition of an anchor? I mean, the indoor mall format, as we know, is really a format that was a moment in time. And the effectiveness of the indoor malls, the sales per square foot generally around the country have gone significantly down. And so the importance of that old format of two big department stores and all the shops in the middle, I think that's gone. I mean, there hasn't been a new indoor mall built in decades. So that tells you something. But you're right. Stores that really drive sales, stores that have great experience, great product, value to the consumer, is meaningful to the consumer, the Apple stores, the Lululemons, the Ala Yogas, the Sephoras, those are all anchors. And when you look at our properties, we're designed around a whole series of great retailers and restaurants that are anchors also that drive traffic, and we're not dependent on the department store.
So in this case, is the mall now the department store? Because you just named a bunch of brands that a generation ago would have had little featured areas inside a Macy's, but not anymore. So do we need department stores anymore? What do department stores need to become in order to be needed?
Well, I think department stores, there's some department stores that are doing some interesting things. If you look at the Saks department store down in Florida and Miami, they've got a great not only restaurant, but a whole food service in there that's incredible. So they're broadening the experience for the shopper, which I think is smart. Shop and shops, I think, are very smart. You take a look at what Bloomingdale's has done, obviously the same kind of company as Macy's. They've got a very aggressive shop and shop. So they've got luxury stores inside the department stores. All of those kind of things make the shopping more interesting to the consumer and more engaging. And probably the department stores don't need to be as big. They can be much more efficient now on how they're selling product. But it really comes down to, are there innovative CEOs running these department stores that are willing to reinvent this format that is pretty much not changed over decades and decades? And I think that's what we need to look for.
Okay. So, Rick, a macro question for you, because it is the holiday season. It's also Fed week. We're seeing economic data that's showing signs of softening, but not completely buckling. So the soft landing narrative persists. What are you seeing in your properties in real time right now?
Yeah, across the portfolio, we're still seeing growth. We're seeing double-digit growth of attendance on the properties. We're seeing strong growth in sales. Most of our retailers are having sales that are exceeding their projections for the holiday season. So that's all good. But I will tell you, we're being cautious from a planning standpoint looking into 24. I just got to believe that with the interest rates that have risen, the default rates on credit cards has risen, default rates on automobile loans has risen. More people are buying now, paying later. That's up about 40%. So people still want the experience. They want to be out. They want to shop. There's just got to be less spendable income out there. And I think we're going to start feeling that, hopefully, with interest rates coming down a bit, and we're not seeing a lot of deterioration in the labor market, we're going to have a nice soft landing. But we're going to be prepared for something a little bit more difficult going into 24. We'd rather plan for the worst and we'll celebrate the best.